In the last video, I built and launched a model rocket using nothing but duct tape. Well, coming to take a look at it, it actually looks better than I expected. Today, we're going to be testing different nose cones to see which one is the best for your project. So in today's video, we're going to be printing, building, and launching a series of rockets, all of which are identical except for the nose cone. We'll start with the control rocket so we have a baseline. The baseline rocket will have a tangent ogive nose cone. Then we'll test a conical, an elliptical, and maybe something even a little goofier. For this video, every body tube, fin can, and nose cone is 3D printed in PLA. I'm not trying to break any records here, I just need reproducible parts. For consistency, every rocket in this video uses the same design from MakerWorld. The link is in the description if you want to check it out. This is our control rocket. Well, what's left of it at least. This one uses the original tangent ogive nose cone from the design file. And here's a quick reason why. Tangent ogive nose cones are cheap to manufacture, easy to model, and are basically the default nose cone of model rocketry. And most commercially available model rocket kits use a variation of this shape. Before printing full nose cones, I printed these tiny test circles to make sure I got the sizing right so I wouldn't have to reprint every single nose cone if I got it wrong. The first one I printed was too large. It was basically the same diameter of the body tube itself. So I went back into Onshape, adjusted the sketch, and reprinted it. Now that we have created the perfect size, we're gonna go ahead and use that exact size on all of our nose cones. Time to actually edit all of these ones out, and then once they're edited, we're gonna print them all. Now it slides in and out of the body tube with the perfect amount of friction. And if you wanna know exactly what a failed 3D print looks like when you forget to stop it from finishing, this is what it looks like. Now, let's talk about why nose cone shapes matter in the first place, other than obvious reasons. NASA's Glenn Research Center says the aerodynamic forces come from the difference between the speed and the air around a rocket. And even so, model rockets feel this more than full-scale rockets. That's because model rockets spend all of their time inside the Earth's atmosphere where there's air, whereas full-size rockets spend only a portion of their time flying in the Earth's atmosphere. The nose cone, fins, and even the body tube can all generate lift, but at the same time, they also all generate drag. Here's a quick explanation of the different kinds of nose cones we're going to be testing in this video. This is the tangent ogive nose cone. This is our control nose cone for all of these tests. A tangent ogive is often seen as a smooth curve that blends into the body tube with no sharp corners. They have great all-around shape and have good subsonic performance. They're also simple to print and usually some of the most stable nose cones that you can use at subsonic speeds. And this is an example of an extremely short elliptical nose cone. These are used because they have the best drag performance in subsonic flight. They're not usually ideal for any supersonic flight because of the wave drag that they produce. And in some cases, an elliptical nose cone can be called a short ogive. On the other hand, a conical nose cone is clearly stated by its straight edges that meet at a sharp point. They work at transonic and supersonic speeds, but are not optimized for either one. And if you're wondering why I'm not showing you one right now, you'll have to watch to the end of the video. I don't know where it's coming down. There it is. Well, we're not finding that one. And, well, this one's just kind of fun. This will obviously never be used for any real type of rocketry. I just designed this to see what it would do and because I thought it would look kind of funny on a rocket. Now, obviously, there are many more types of nose cones than what I've mentioned right here. These are just the ones we're testing in this video. Now, these rockets aren't going to give us perfect scientific data. For real measurements done by professionals, you need a wind tunnel and a lot more math. So treat these as demonstrations and not textbook numbers. But now that all of our rockets and nose cones are completed, we can go out to the launch site and start testing these rockets. So now we are out at the field and we can start testing each one of these nose cones. It's a little windy, but not enough to really move these things. So we should be getting good launches. Once I had gotten out to the field and I tried to launch one of my rockets, I knew something was off since I got a misfire on the first try. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Well, we have a dud. So I waited the appropriate amount of time before checking out the rocket to make sure it was safe, but when I did check it out, I realized that nothing had gone wrong. The igniter hadn't even been lit inside the motor. So I tried it a couple more times, but still nothing happened. So eventually I took the rocket off the pad and replaced it with a different one. Which that rocket ended up doing the exact same thing. So I concluded that it was the launch controller that was the issue. After that, I decided to pack up all my stuff and try again the next day. But before I did that, I tried one last launch. 3, 2, 1. That's way over there. Holy. Oh. Well, that didn't work very well. I don't think you can see it from here, but I definitely can. It's sticking straight out of the ground. Well, even though we were only able to get one of the rockets to launch that day, and it still kind of became an unguided missile, I was happy to try again and come back the next day. Okay, we're back for day 2 launching. Yesterday we had some technical difficulties. I'm guessing the remote did not have enough power because of the batteries I've been using for a couple months now. So we put new batteries in it, and today we're gonna test and see if it actually launches. We're gonna go in 3, 2, 1. Something's up. And as you can see, we had the same problem again, even though I thought I had fixed it the day before by replacing the batteries in the launch controller. But on that day, I decided to just mash the launch button over and over again to see if I could get it to work. And sure enough, that actually shot perfectly. I don't know where it's coming down. There it is. Well, we're not finding that one. Oh no! Oh no! We've had a major malfunction. So taking a look at the rockets, which one performed the best? Well, it's pretty easy to say that none of them performed at the greatest that they could. This could be a multitude of reasons. Some things including things like speed, weight, or even the direction that they launched off the pad.
Hey guys, this is Noah editing here. I just realized that I didn't even really go over the tests that we did in the video. So I wanted to take a second here to take a look at the video and actually show you what happened. For starters, I didn't even get to launch the control rocket because when I was buying motors for this video, I somehow didn't buy enough. If we take a look at the tests, we can see that most of them veer off course pretty close to launching. And the reason that they veered off course is because they didn't have enough launch rod to get them going straight at the correct speed. So when taking into account for your projects, don't take in what was shown in this video. Take in the actual statistics and facts that I've put in the description of this video. I'm just a guy on YouTube who does this for fun. I'm not an actual engineer or anything. So I'm just gonna let you guys watch the rest of the video.
And even though we didn't really get any data from these tests, we can still take away some good stuff. The first thing is that you need to do your own research on which nose cone is best for your project. Sometimes you need a tangent ogive and sometimes you need an elliptical. It all depends on what your project's needs are and what you're trying to accomplish. Don't just take my words on these things, take a look at real studies. These are done by NASA's Glenn Research Center and MIT's rocket team. I'll leave some good articles in the description below if you want to check it out. Another thing we can take away is that small design changes can have massive effects on how a rocket performs. Even a millimeter difference in nose cone fit can shift the center of gravity, change how a rocket behaves, and completely alter the flight path. But anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay curious and aim for orbit. Hopefully they do launch, because it is already 20 degrees colder today than it was yesterday, and I'm not trying to come out tomorrow because it's going to be 10 degrees colder than it is today. So